皆さんおはようございます。メリークリスマス。ハレルヤ。英語礼拝のクリスです。今日は、2つのことがあります。まずは、証を、見せたいと思います。まず、今年、洗礼式は、数人がいて、その中の一人は、今からその、証を見せたいと思います。で、その後に、すぐ曲を歌いたいです。どうぞ皆さん、ご存知なら一緒に歌いましょう。まずは、ビデオを見てごらん。
Actually, ever since I was a little child, I always looking for the reason for my being. I mean, I try to find the answers for my life. I mean, why should I live? And when I was a teenager, I even tried to kill myself because I felt so empty. I mean, it felt as if I was thrown to this life without and against my will, and I didn't have any justifiable reasons to continue, and I thought I could end it out of my own will, kind of like state. So like this pervasive and lingering sentiment of loneliness and emptiness continued. I started going to church since I was very young, but it was always on and off. And I also went to Christian high school. And I studied in the US, and I continued going to church, but it was all very shallow, and I could find people, I could find friendships and networks at church, and I liked that, but nothing deeper, nothing profound. I think I was sick, but I was not aware of it. I was physically, mentally, and emotionally sick. I was working myself literally to death. I couldn't stop working until I basically totally exhausted myself every day, and I did that for many years. And I felt very empty inside, very vulnerable. And in order to cover that up, I acted as if I was very strong. And all these things, I think, were totally mindless and silly. I mean, but I was doing all these self-destructive things to myself. When I became physically ill, I mean, not really like conventional kind of like illness, but I couldn't read anymore. My eyes refused to read any printed materials, and I just became paralyzed. I couldn't do anything, and I began looking at my life and realized how empty it was and how shallow I was, and I wanted God to rescue me from all those hollow and dark feelings. I wanted to cleanse myself from all the past sins and wrongs that I committed, such as arrogance, pride, competitiveness, jealousy, greed, and desire. All those things were actually destroying me. I wanted to restart my life as a complete person in God's love. I read a lot in philosophy and history, and all those things didn't lead me anywhere. And I had to find the one, the most powerful, the most loving, never changing, stable. So I had to come back to God, and I knew that He was always waiting for me. So when I finally got reconnected with Him, I was just so happy. I was like, wow, thank you for waiting for me. You've been watching me going through all these horrible things, and I was just so grateful. I have become such a joyful person. Of course, like everybody else, we have ups and downs. Sometimes I feel very strongly about God's presence. Sometimes it just feels a little less. We have all those ups and downs, just like in any relationships. But He's always with me, and that's such a wonderful feeling. It gives me profound sense of joy. So I get joy from nothing. I mean, nothing visible, nothing tangible, nothing material, but I just feel happy and peaceful. Before Jesus, my dark moments lasted longer, and I had to rely on changing of environment, material possessions, those endless drive I thought could pick myself up. But again, they didn't take me anywhere. But now, of course, I have those lapses. Occasionally I fall down, and I cannot really drop the old habits out of the blue. But now it's more like, I have become more like self-reflexive. I look at myself and go like, oh, you shouldn't go there. It's not good. I mean, it's not what God wants to see in me. So my relationship with God helps me to stay in this dialogue with myself as well as with God. So I can't stop myself before going into all the old habits that I used to have. So it's a lot more preventive. And of course, occasionally I go further. Then it's easier now to pick myself up and recover myself than before. Now it's like, oh, God is watching me. No matter what I have done, He still loves me.
Yeah.
So I can,
Yeah.
He helps me to heal the holes in my heart and go on.
There you
So
go.
it's a wonderful feeling of recovery and healing, that it's okay to feel sad and lonely, because we are all human beings. We are very fragile and vulnerable. We are often tempted by those feelings. But don't ever forget that no matter who you are, no matter how you feel, no matter what you do, He is always with you, and He cares for you, and He loves you, despite of all the shortcomings that we have. I mean, despite of our sins, shortcomings, our stupidities, our vulnerabilities, He still loves you. I mean, what more and what else can we ask for? I mean, this is perfect. This is a perfect relationship. So don't ever forget that despite of all those horrible things that we are often tempted to, He still cares for us.
When He returns, or when you meet Him face to face, is there something you would like to say? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say in very big voice that I thank Him. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything.